Good morning. It is now about 6:25. I got up around 5:30. That's kind of a normal wake up time for me. I just wake up pretty early on my own. And the first thing I do when I get up is come and take my thyroid medication. So this is supposed to be taken first thing in the morning and on an empty stomach, about an hour away from any food or other supplements that you take, so that it can be absorbed, because there's kind of a lot of things that can mess with the absorption of the thyroid medication. So that's always the first thing I do when I get up. Come take my thyroid medication, get that out of the way, and then I kind of go about my morning routine so that I have that stretch of time after taking it where I'm not eating anything or taking any other supplements yet. And as part of my morning routine, like brushing my teeth, washing my face, all that, I also have estrogen drops that I put onto my skin. So like just put it on my arm and rub it in. This is something that I have been on actually for quite a while now. It's like a compounded medication from a pharmacy that is basically tailored to me from my doctor. The prescription is to give me a little bit of estrogen because my levels are so low. And the reason that we have done this particularly is because of bone health and kind of the critical role that estrogen plays in preventing osteoporosis. There was a time for a while where my bone density, I was doing regular bone density scans, and my bone density was getting lower, and to the point where I had actual osteopenia and was like close to the point of having osteoporosis, which was kind of scary and really like obviously not a road I want to go down. So I started taking the estrogen primarily because of the bone health component. It also does help me with like brain fog and kind of mood, I would say. But mostly this has been something that I have been on and stayed on because of how helpful it is for the bone health and keeping me from getting closer to osteoporosis. And I have been able to reverse that in the past couple of years. So now in the last like 2 years or so, my bone density scans have shown improvement. I'm out of the osteopenia range, which is really great. And there are some other things that I have done that I will show you as we go through the day that have also helped with that. But those are really the first two things in the morning, the thyroid and the estrogen drops that I am doing early in the day. Now I am going to go get a little bit of movement in, and then when I have breakfast, that's when I take the majority of my morning supplements that need to be taken with food. So we will reconvene in a little bit. Also, obviously, huge disclaimer here, I am not a doctor. I am not providing medical advice or suggesting that anybody follow this protocol or take any of the things that I am taking. This has all been with the help of a medical team. It's all been supervised and it's tailored to me and my particular needs. So it's not something that I'm saying anybody else needs to follow. But that being said, there have been things that I have taken, both supplements and medications, and that I'm taking now that I have learned about from other people, and sometimes like other people that I follow online, where I have maybe heard about a certain supplement or protocol or medication or whatever, and I'll go do my own research. I will bring it to my doctor, ask them about it, and I have actually taken things that have been really helpful because of what I have stumbled across or maybe heard from other people in similar situations to me. So I do want to share this in the hopes that, you know, maybe it's helpful to somebody who hears about something that potentially could be useful for them. And you could go ask your own doctor, your own medical team about it, but always work with your doctor before taking any supplements or obviously any medications, and make sure that it's going to be right for you. All right, it's a little while later. It's about 8:30 now. I had a little bit of a snack earlier and went and did a workout, and then now I'm going to have breakfast and take my morning supplements. These are things that I prefer to take with food. I think I probably should take them with food for better absorption, and because some of them can maybe be a little bit like hard on your stomach if you take them without food. So these are all the things I take in the morning with breakfast. 2 fish oil pills, keep in the fridge. I have a digestive enzyme that helps with kind of really absorbing and breaking down a lot of the supplements or the capsules. Also just suspect that I do have still some like gut dysfunction, so taking the digestive enzymes just to make sure that I'm getting everything out of the supplements I'm taking. A vitamin C, a magnesium, This is a supplement called Broccolite, which is a sulforaphane supplement. And then the really big one is my bone health support. I have a supplement, it's called Pro Bono, and it comes in a morning and a nighttime packet. So there's like 5 capsules in the morning packet and there's 6 in the evening packet. And this is like a whole bunch of different various vitamins and minerals. Definitely has some calcium in it, but it has lots of other things that also help you absorb and use calcium. It's kind of like a multivitamin, but like specifically tailored to bone support. And the interesting thing about this particular supplement, the company that makes the product actually guarantees that if you take it for a year and your bone density does not improve, they will refund you for the full year of the supplements. So I took that as a challenge because at that time my bone density was not in a great spot and I really was trying to find a way to improve it. And in the past, when I've taken calcium supplements in particular, can be hard to digest, and I had some like stomach issues with that. So I wanted to try this. It didn't bother my stomach. I took it for like 9 months and then had redone a bone density scan and saw improvement after those 9 months. So that was really awesome. That's why I've stayed on this particular supplement up until now. I'll continue it at least for the foreseeable future to keep that bone support going. So here's all my pills. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pills to take this morning. Note on the fish oil, my goal with the fish oil is to get 2,000 milligrams of omega-3s total, at least, and then, but also to get like 1,400, I think, milligrams of EPA, which is the sort of the threshold that has been shown in studies to be effective. I'm taking 2 in the morning and 1 in the evening to get the dosage that I want. It's now about 12:30 and I'm going to make some lunch and take my midday supplements. So we have an estrogen kind of hormone support for women to just kind of give myself some other hormonal support beyond the actual hormones that I'm taking. And then I also have a liquid vitamin D supplement, which I did take in the morning. I forgot to include this in the morning supplement. So I take 2 separate doses of vitamin D. This is actually a vitamin D with K2, and I split it up, a few drops in the morning and a few drops midday, just for better absorption. I learned from some of my genetic testing that I probably don't absorb like larger amounts of vitamin D well, and that it would probably be better for me to split it up. And also I do testing of my vitamin D, so I know that I was on the lower end and that supplementing is helpful for me. So I took a few drops this morning. I'll take a few drops now midday. You don't want to take this at night, so I don't want to do it like AM and PM because vitamin D is like a sunshine hormone. It can potentially disrupt sleep a little bit. So I just do a little bit in the morning and a little bit midday. This is the easiest part of my supplement routine, the midday, just because I only have 1 pill and then the vitamin D to take. I think we're, what, 13 pills in so far, and it's only midday. Still got quite a few to go. Hello, hi, it is now about 6 o'clock. I'm getting ready to have dinner and be taking my evening supplements. So I've got everything in my little, I guess this is my little pill holder that I use here. So I have 1 more fish oil. I do 1 fish oil in the evening to get that full dose that I want. I have the Broccolite supplement, the sulforaphane. I do a second one of those at night as well. I have another vitamin C. I have the evening bone health packet, which is one of these guys. There are 6 capsules in here. And then I have another digestive enzyme to help absorb all of this stuff. And I think that's it. Oh, there's also a probiotic. So I take just this one particular strain of probiotics called Akkermansia. This was something that came up in my gut health testing that I was very low in, and you can actually just get this particular strain. I don't think you can find this one like in other probiotics because I believe this company has like patented it and they're the only ones that make it. But I take this at night as well. And I think that's it for the evening supplements. It's basically a repeat of a lot of the stuff that I took in the morning. And then before I go to bed, I also have a couple more things that I will take, so we will reconvene then. All right, it's about 8:30 now. I'm getting ready to go to bed pretty soon, so I'm taking my last supplements and medications of the day. These couple of things I take generally right before bed or like within an hour before going to bed. So I have some more magnesium. I take 2 more magnesium capsules to get the full dose within a day of the magnesium that I take. Then I have a progesterone supplement, again, because my hormone levels have been really low for such a long time. Started taking this. It does help quite a bit with my sleep as well and with brain fog. And then I'm also taking low dose naltrexone. This is a very interesting medication if you haven't heard about it, which I do want to talk more about, but because it's getting close to my bedtime and I'm quite tired, I am going to do a little catch up tomorrow, go over all the supplements and medications again and kind of like go over a little bit more specifics of some of the things that I'm taking and talk about some of the medications in particular that I have found to be really helpful. Some things that I actually initially really resisted taking but now have been on for quite a while and think have been really beneficial for me in the long run. So we will chat again tomorrow. Okay, so yesterday I went over all of the supplements and medications that I am taking, and I just wanted to talk a little bit more about some of them individually, like what specifically I'm taking and why, in case anybody is in a similar situation, is maybe trying to look into different things that might be helpful. Hopefully this going over some of these in more detail can be useful. So the first thing that I take first thing in the morning is my thyroid medication. The one that I'm on now is called Armour Thyroid, and it's technically like a more natural form of thyroid because it is made from desiccated pig thyroid, which I know sounds really weird, but I had been taking like the synthetic form and it just did not seem to be doing much for me. Like my numbers weren't really changing very much, and we thought that perhaps like my body just wasn't processing it well or actually converting it into the usable form of thyroid. So I switched to a different kind, this Armour Thyroid, that is, you know, a little bit considered a little more natural, and some people do tend to have better results with that. I have had a little more luck in terms of it does raise some of my thyroid levels. However, it has not really made a significant impact on my actual energy levels. Part of the issue there, again, is that we're not sure that it's actually being converted into the form of thyroid that my body uses. So that still could be where the issue is lying for me. I might be absorbing this version of the thyroid medication better than the synthetic form, but if it's still not totally getting converted into the form that my body uses, it's not necessarily helping me with my symptoms. The rest of my morning supplements, the ones that I take with food or with breakfast, included the fish oil. I've always used Nordic Naturals. It's one of the brands that my naturopath recommends. It's something that I can find really easily, and it's a brand that I trust, so I have taken that for quite a while. I do sometimes switch up the form, so sometimes I'll get the liquid version instead of the capsule just to switch it up a little bit and not always be swallowing so many pills. But right now I'm using the Ultimate Omega 2X capsules and taking 2 of those in the morning and then 1 again in the evening to get that dosage of EPA and overall omega-3s that I am looking for. In the morning, I'm also taking vitamin C, and I've been taking this Ester C version, which is like kind of a buffered vitamin C, which is less hard on your stomach. I have found that to be not a problem for me at all, even if I take it at really high doses. So like if I suspect I'm getting sick, or sometimes when I'm traveling, I might up the dosage of that just to get a little bit more of that immune support. Then there is my magnesium supplement. Right now I am taking magnesium threonate. Magnesium threonate is really good for brain health and cognition. I believe it is like one of the only magnesium varieties that has been shown to actually cross the blood-brain barrier, which is why it is so helpful for brain health. Also in the morning and in the evening, I'm taking a digestive enzyme, mostly to help with the breakdown of the calcium packets or the bone health packets, since those have a lot of things in it. And again, not totally sure that my digestive system is doing the best job of breaking these things down. So I take the digestive enzyme. That is also something where I will sort of switch up which brand or which version I use. The digestive enzyme is not necessarily something that I would want to be on forever, because you do kind of want your body to make its own digestive enzymes, but it can be really helpful or supportive if you know that your own digestive system is not functioning super well, or in the case like this where I'm taking certain supplements that might be harder to break down and you just need that little bit of extra support. And then there's the majority of the pills that I'm taking morning and evening, which comes from my bone support supplement. This is a product called Pro Bono, which, as I said, comes with even like a guarantee that your bone density will improve, or else they will refund you for the product. This does have some calcium in it, but it also has a lot of other vitamins and minerals that can support bone health and can help also support the absorption of the calcium, so that you're not just taking a calcium supplement, but you're getting kind of everything you need for that bone health all in one go. The other medication that I wanted to talk about is the low dose naltrexone, which is the one that I take at night before bed. And again, this is something that I had actually heard about for quite a while before I decided to try it. I kind of resisted it because at first it sort of sounded to me like a really strong like prescription medication, and at that point I was still a little bit like wary of getting on anything that felt like a drug to me. But I had heard about it from a therapist that I had been seeing, who she had been really reading up on the research on this and how it's been used for autoimmune conditions or chronic pain, things like Crohn's or like other long-term illnesses where people have pain, discomfort, inflammation, fatigue, those kinds of things. And so she kept mentioning it enough that I just sort of had it in the back of my mind. And then there were a couple other people that I know that have also dealt with similar symptoms to me who had tried it and had really good results from it. So at that point, I brought it up with my naturopath. She immediately was like, oh yeah, we should definitely have you try that. So I did start taking this several years ago and have found it to be so helpful. For me in particular, I think it helps with pain. It's helped with sort of mood and brain fog. The only sort of side effect that can occur with this is you have really vivid dreams, and I do remember that being kind of interesting at the very beginning. I do still have pretty vivid dreams on it, but it's not something that has bothered me, so I'm happy to keep taking it. And there have been a few times where I have either run out of my medication before I could get a refill, or for whatever reason just had to take a couple of days off of it, and like immediately would wake up the next day, feel super foggy and groggy and have a lot more pain. So that is definitely, again, something that at least for the time being, I plan to continue, and I'm really glad that I decided to try it, even though I was hesitant at first. So that's all the like pills, supplements, medications in like pill form that I take every day. This does not include other things that I take like protein powder or electrolytes, creatine, some other various like what would still be considered supplements that I do have quite a few of those things that I incorporate into my day. If that would be of interest to anybody to hear about, I definitely could do a video about what are the additional supplements or other things that I'm kind of incorporating to support my health and to kind of support all systems and healing. There also are a few supplements that I did not include in this sort of everyday video because they're not things that I take every day. Some things that I rotate in and out or take occasionally. I also have a few supplements that are on order that I haven't tried yet, but that I will be incorporating in soon to try. One of them is a peptide. Another is actually a parasite cleanse kind of herbal formula thing that can help with gut health. That will be pretty interesting. And then there are a couple of things too that I was taking more recently, but that I have stopped taking because I did not react very well to them. And this is again why I think it's so important to like work with a practitioner and kind of understand that what works for me is not gonna work for everybody else, even if they're maybe in a really similar situation. Do some trial and error, see what works for you, but be working with a practitioner or somebody that can help you determine what is actually gonna be helpful and what might be making things worse for you in particular rather than being supportive. I think that is it. If you have any questions about any of these supplements that I'm taking, definitely leave them below. Happy to answer any questions as much as I can. Again, I'm not a medical expert, I'm not a doctor, I'm not prescribing anything or saying that anybody should take these, but hopefully some of this information might be helpful. I will be making a video about all the sort of appointments that I do in a week, all the different protocols or different sort of therapies and things that I am doing on a weekly basis to, again, just support my body, try to keep things moving in the right direction, and that will be coming up pretty soon, so you can keep an eye out for that. Thank you so very much for the support. Thanks for watching. You can subscribe below if you would like, and I'll talk to you guys soon.